Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of In Stars in Time. We just got some big information about where we're from, and possibly where the king is from as well. So I'm gonna go back and talk to Loop for a second, right? I've already talked to Mirabelle again, I've talked to all the characters again besides talking to, Isabeau. And that's because Isabeau usually triggers the final moments that sends you into the final dungeon, or at least gives you the cutscene for the final dungeon. So I kind of want to make sure we're talking to Luke before this as well, 100%. Hi Stardust, I feel like I see you pretty often. Are you sure you don't have anything better to do? If I was in your place, which I'm not, I'd spend my time in the house forever, getting stronger and stronger. Anyway, how can I help you on this wonderful new loop? I wonder if there's anything we can ask here. Maybe not. Honestly, if there's no more questions we can ask here about the king, I'm guessing we might just have to head to ask the king about this stuff again. Because I can't think of someone who would know, besides Loop, I can't think of anyone who would know information about the king besides the king themselves. So I think we can go talk to Isabeau then. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do as well. Wait 1 second here. You approach the Change God statue, it's still here looking at you. So this had multiple eyes at one point. Would the Change God be mad if it got a blessing again? Would it know? Oh, so interesting. You believe strongly or whatever. That your hits will super hurt, that your attacks will go against you will be super weak, that you'll be super fast. Super fast. Super fast, super fast, super fast. And again, whilst you actually feel a little bit faster, you jump on one place trying to notice if anything changed. You jump on a pointy rock, you don't tear up. Not that much agile then. You and your family members' attack speed got boosted a little. That's pretty good. Once per loop, you can go to Change God statue and boost one of your stats. The effects on the statue will be reset every time you go back to Dormont. So every time you loop back here, don't forget to go to the Change God statue, okay? Fantastic stuff. Close your single eye. Oh, you can save here as well. Okay, cool. How many loops are on? 54 loops. Fantastic stuff. You thank the Change God for his blessing and quickly run away. Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature. And one of the things that happens is, sometimes when you're playing a game, and I think it happens to me all the time, especially when you're I don't know, I've been doing this for a while now, and one of the things that will happen is I don't know why I'm running around with this person. One of the things that will happen for me is that I will notice some subtle difference in something, a tiny difference, and sometimes you don't even mention it because you're oh, that's probably the same. You know what I mean? I'm just my mind is playing tricks on me or something. You know what I mean? Or I think to myself, well, Calvin, the last time you were here was 3 episodes ago, about a week and a half ago. So don't think of it that way. But I think this had 6 eyes at one point. I remember having 6 eyes at one point, which is really, really neat that it did this as well. Let's go talk to Isabeau then. And we're gonna have to, and again, I'll skip forward through this as well, but this is gonna be the last conversation we have here. I don't mind redoing these conversations because you can skip through them, and they actually don't even last that long. Okay, so I wonder if we'll get that cutscene again with the sadness. If we don't attack, then we might not get it again, right? I don't want to put them through that distress again, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so I don't think we got the cutscene this time. Okay, because I think that makes sense. Seafreen, again, has that pressure on them now where they're trying not to upset anybody. Which is, again, it's very dark in that sense as well, where it's they're we talked about last time, we talked about great length, how horrible it is having to keep up this appearance of that you're not actually bothered, that you're not actually upset. It can be very, very difficult. There we go. We could have used Seafreen's rock move there, by the way. It would have been fine. Would have been so fine. Yeah, we don't even, it's not even that far we have to go up here. We just have to head up here. I know exactly where we find the tier as well. So this is where they talked about Mirabelle's brooch last time as well. Yeah, we'll say no time this time. Head up here. really we're just trying to like, yeah, fast forward a little bit to the king. Now it's one of those situations again that I'm just like, I love dearly how this game is played. I want to make that clear because I feel like last time as well, like I was like, you know, definitely when I was editing, I realized I was like, ah, but like I'm starting to feel it with the battle stuff, I guess. But I love the looping mechanic. I think the looping mechanic is so good. And what I like about it most is it's not just the looping mechanic; it's also the act of like talking to people and like that. It's there's a game I love like dearly called Shenmue, right? And it's one of my favorite games ever created. I truly do love this type of game. Another game that I really like, and it's one of those things like with like as I said with Shenmue. Shenmue is one of my favorite games of all time. I like all types of games. Like I love games with waypoints. I love games without waypoints. I love games like Dark Souls. I love games like you know, BioShock that have a waypoint right above your head. Like, you know, I like Yakuza. To me, like the Yakuza series is one of the most immersive games ever, and they have waypoints. There's nothing wrong with waypoints, but I do appreciate games that like do like either a bit of both, either or. I think there's a place for games in all types of games. One of my favorite things about this game is that it kind of reminds me a little bit of like two games that I love dearly. And by the way, this isn't me saying that like I think that sometimes in the internet when people compare things, they go like, you're saying that this copied, and I think my audience is very good at realizing that, like, no, it's like, we compare things as humans because that's how we describe things. It's never like an insult, you know what I mean? At all. For me, like, when I played Shadow of Memories, which is a game about, like, trying to solve your own murder, one of my favorite things about that game is, like, you know, you're talking to people in the streets, like, and you have to go, like, it's like, oh, wait, like, how am I going to find this thing, or how am I going to do this? And it's like, you have to talk to people. You have to talk to people and converse with people, have a conversation with people, and they'll lead you to, like, the next moment. You know, like, it's like, like, even one of my favorite moments is the start of the game. One of my favorite moments is, like, you have to make sure a place is crowded. So you literally go like, oh, you find out there's a street performer on the street. You go, oh, I found out there's like this is the first half an hour of the game, by the way. It's like, and you find out there's a street performer. And you're like, oh my God, like, I'll tell everyone there's a street performer in the street at this time. So at that time, I will not be alone and the person can't kill me. And it literally goes like that. It's such a cool moment. Obviously, that's different from what happens here in the Stars in Time. But then in Shenmue also, there's this thing where it's like, oh, I need to get like, I need to find, you know, Mark, you know, I'm making up a story because I don't want to spoil anything for Shenmue either, but like, it's like, you need to find Mark. It's like, Mark, and you talk to someone on the street and they go, Mark, oh, I heard about him. I think he was down by the restaurant yesterday. You go down by the restaurant. Yeah, Mark was here. I think he works down at the old shipping factory. And it's like, oh, like then it's like, okay, I better get to the shipping factory. Oh, how do I get to the shipping factory? Oh, I'm here at the shipping factory. I better get a job. How do I get a job? And you have to keep talking to people. And it's like those realization moments where it's like, and Stars in Time does this beautifully, where you'll be sitting here kind of like just randomly, casually, like playing the game, and they will go like, you'll be like, oh, like the game, like, you need to find the guy who, someone who likes frogs. And it's like, oh, who likes frogs? Back in like Act 2, I talked to someone who liked frogs. You know what I mean? It's like, and we have so many moments in the past, like this past act, for example, where like they've been like, how are we gonna find out more about this thing, the library? How are we gonna do this? Oh, like we go to this area, and then we have to go to the, you know, Mabel's Mirabelle's drawer. It's funny I said Mabel because, like, honestly, like, you know, I think they get along, Mabel and Mirabelle, in terms of Gravity Falls. But yeah, I love the type of like conversing with people to find out new details, looking back on details that you knew before to like add to your details. Even stuff like when you forget that you remember, then like the diary stuff, I was like, oh my God, like I love that type of gameplay. I really do. It's really cool. We say that right before we like pass away here as well. Like I love the idea of conversing with people to find out something new, and then using that information later on, like an hour from now, 2 hours from now, and be like, oh yeah, I remember, that's when this thing happens. You know, it's really, really cool. It's really cool. Let's go up to the king. 15, by the way, a lot. We're gonna have to like save up some of our stuff here. Now, this could be a thing where like the king, you drench your eating a rotten apple. It's a rotten apple there again, by the way. This might be a thing where the king like doesn't even like, like, no, we can't say anything to the king. And honestly, like at that point, it's probably the first time I'd probably like reload my save, because I saved right before that thing as well. And it would make kind of sense instead of just like doing the same loop again. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can ask the king. We always prefer to engage with the mechanics, by the way. That's what I always prefer to do. But I'm saying, like if there's no new option here, like, I'd have to go and talk to like Mirabelle and all the characters all over again. Does it matter? There is something new. There we go. But what else does? We shall fight, and we shall see which side of the universe favors. The universe again, right? The universe that gave them powers. Here we go with the metal music as well. Zone out for this part? Yeah, sure. You've heard this before. So we have to ask them a question, but we're on 1,000 health, by the way, which is crazy. The king waits, so they're going to do the move right away. Ask. Is there something new? There's not... Wait, but what's the question related to where they're from? It's what should I remember, right? You ask again, but you know. Does it really matter? Oh, so there's nothing new here. You know. Oh, this might not be good. Brightone, why? Why would you ask? Don't you know at this point you've forgotten? Haven't you always known? Can't you see the hole left behind? If not, what do we do here then? Don't you feel its absence? What the crap is he? All of it. You forgot it all, Brightone. They all have. We all have. No one can say it. No one can even remember it. It escapes us. It will keep escaping us. But can we not talk to them now about what we found out? Your accent, the way you use craft decision in your cloak, yeah, that's where we're from. You should remember, you and I, and the people standing here should remember. Brightone, please, just remember it. Say it. Make it real, please. If you can remember, then maybe... What is happening? Is he okay? Something we've all forgotten? I haven't forgotten anything, stupid. You know. Ask the king. We might have made a mistake here as well. I thought we could go ask the king, but I guess not. Island north of Regard. I remember when it happened. Remember isn't the right word, is it? We all just know something happened. An entire stretch of land disappearing from people's minds doesn't happen often, does it? I think my village was really close to it. My sister said it was all everyone could talk for weeks. That's so frightening. I'm glad whatever happened, she didn't get caught up in it. So this is the first time in this game that I really felt like I had to like look something up to find out how to progress. I was so confused on what to do next. But I think it's actually like to do with the mirror again. And I think we have to look in the mirror once again. A mirror. You and your family are reflected in it. But I wonder if like if this is how it works. Prove that you're here with your family members. Prove that you love them. Even if you forget a lot. It's proof that your friends existed. Proof that you were happy. Proof that this moment happened. Perfectly frozen in time. I think this is it. After the country was forgotten, the king was welcomed by Vagard, wasn't he? Welcomed and helped and loved. To the point where he sees Vagard as perfect. But no one knows where the country was forgotten. What's keeping Vagard from being forgotten the exact same way? Interesting. Wasn't it his duty as thanks for welcoming him to make sure such a fate would never befall Vagard? Wait, so he's trying to make sure it was never forgotten. What else could he do? But make sure this perfect country was preserved in amber forever. Yeah, it can never be forgotten if it stays in the same way forever. How could he ever let go? That's what he's trying to do. You understand the king more than you'd like to. But still, he's... You want to talk to him again. There we go. Okay, so... Two things that happened here, right? I was like so confused. I was sitting here for half an hour not knowing what to do. I was trying different things. I went back to the diary, all the stuff. There was like a, thank God, like a spoiler-free, it seems that everyone in the fandom is like very, very good at like making sure people find stuff themselves. But the thing I found was like very like spoiler-free. Thank God it was just like, here's how you progress like through Act 3. Past the diary part, I suppose. Well, I'm again, you guys know if I ever like look up something, I'm gonna let you guys know 100% because there's no point in like not letting you know. I would have been here forever. Yeah, 100%. And it says you just have to talk to the mirror again. But another thing is with this mirror is that like you have to like redo the boss before this level 2 because we already looked in the mirror technically in the other routes. So I don't think we would have been able to go right back to floor 3. Maybe we would have. But yeah, there we go. And again, I want to make clear, I said like before that I love the way this game, you can just figure out stuff like very, very naturally, 110%. And I think like it would have been a thing again. I always like understand, like I say this as well, like I am someone who does like, I'm making videos as well, you know? So like, I think you guys understand as well, like when I get to a point where I'm like stuck for half an hour, I'm kind of like, okay, look, let's just bite the bullet, swallow a bit. Again, not that I have pride for that, but like swallow a bit of pride and be like, let's see if we can find it. You know what I mean? It runs the risk sometimes of like getting spoilers, but I feel like, you know, you're not just going to see a spoiler right away if you look it up, right? Thankfully. Especially since it is like a smaller game, it's not as mega popular, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but like I'm gonna admit it when I do something like that. 110%. 110% I'm gonna admit when I do something like that. I feel like it's I feel like it'd be even sillier, right? Can you imagine if I did that? Imagine if I was just like, whoa, I just checked the mirror right away. You know what I mean? Right after this. That's what the cut you would have seen. When really it was like a half an hour of me being like, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do now? I went and saw the boss and like he didn't have a new dialogue, so I went back to the diary, all this stuff. Like I would have been like, you know, it would have been very, very like apparent, honestly. So yeah, I have no problem saying that I this once looked something up as well. Which I would say, like, you know, in a way, it can go against like the spirit of a game sometimes, like 100%. But like, I'm never against that if you're stuck on something a lot. You know what I mean? 100%. I'm not against that. And also at the same time, I feel like, you know, there's two things. It's like, just be honest about it. If you're a creator, if you're someone who wants to do Let's Plays, just be honest whenever you can't figure something out. 100%. And another thing is, it's like I don't have anything like really against that whatsoever. I love In Stars in Time because it is a game about figuring stuff out through dialogue and through conversations. But when I couldn't figure it out for like 30 minutes, I was like, look, let's just try this out. I think that's totally fair. That's the way I went about it, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, if I could ever people like ask me for like, not that I'm in any position to give any, by the way, advice about YouTube, because again, like I don't really do like a lot of stuff that like I think would be, you know, perfect for if you want to like do really big YouTube or whatever. But if I had to give advice to myself for when I was like starting YouTube, it's build up a trust in your audience like right away, and like stuff like that is like so important. I feel like even though it seems small, right? Just be honest whenever you look something up. Another thing was like when I said building trust with an audience, I think also at the same time I always like think, you know, letting like, you know, don't promise stuff unless you know you're gonna do it, because like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, people, if I said like tomorrow, like, oh, next week I'm gonna do a Sonic Unleashed playthrough, and then I decide not to, no one's gonna crucify me or kill me, you know, no one's gonna be like, F you, Calvin, F you. But it is one of those things where the next time I make a promise, or if next time I go, oh, next week I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, and then there's gonna be at least one person or one or two people going, or maybe even like, you know, 100 people going like, I don't know, I'll wait till I see it. You know what I mean? And then there's like a lack of hype about something. And then if I don't play the Kingdom Hearts, then it's like, okay, so I don't know if like he's gonna play these games. Or another thing is like, you know, finishing games that you like. You know what I mean? Like I did that a lot when I started off YouTube, where I like would move on to like, I was like, oh, I'm playing this game for like 15 episodes. I like it, but I want to play a different game as well. And then like, you know, if you don't finish games as well sometimes that you like, your audience at the next time is going to go, why should I get invested in this? You know what I mean? I know it sounds weird to say, but like, I think building up like a trust in a very natural way with your audience is definitely the thing I'd always say. Just do it. And it's very easy to do. Just, you know, be honest with your audience. That's what I'd say. There it is. Where are you from? Will he say it if you ask? Can he say it? Someone asked you the exact question before and you couldn't answer. You couldn't say anything. And you forgot it all. But.
Where I'm from.
Whoa, what just happened?
Bright one. If you're asking with such a look in your eye, do you remember then?
all this time when he's asking us, do we remember, he was asking us about that place. And it makes sense that, like, I'm not saying he should do it. I'm saying, like, the story makes sense. It was like, oh, and that's why he's trying to freeze this place in time, because it's perfect him and he wants nobody to forget it. Such, like, a passionately, like, heartbreaking story, right? It is. It's like 100% it's bad. Like, do not freeze these people in time. But when you think about it, it's like, wow, that's like so well written, right? A character who wants to freeze a place in time so it can never be forgotten.
Can you see it? Can you picture it? Bright one. Bright one, please, you can't. You have to remember. I know you can. We both can. We're the only ones present here who can.
What? Seafreen, what's he talking about? We're from the same place. Seaf, are you okay?
Bright one. No. You're trying, I can tell. But the knowledge keeps escaping you, doesn't it? Slipping through your fingers. It is the same for me.
Oh my god.
But we have to try and remember, Bright One. I see flashes of it.
Of what was. So it's like this thing's like pleading with us as well. We have to remember this.
The mountains. The sea. The lightless sand, the dark like the night sky.
Our country, bro. Our country, it is. Our country. Our home. We have to say, and that's why we can't forget our home either. We cannot let Oblivion win. So Oblivion isn't Oblivion like, I just maybe know from Mastodon, but isn't Oblivion like a grand nothingness? Like almost like a forgetfulness? Maybe I'm wrong. Our home, we can rebuild it. Rebuild it? Yup. Whoa, you want to use both our time crafts to rebuild this?
We just have to wish for it. We just have to ask. We just have to say its name.
Wait, the star. What are we doing? Wait, what? Oh my god, it's just like... Do you hear this track? Seaf? No. You heard it. He said it. He tried to say. Well, he tried to say the name. Your country's name. Your home. No. It's gone. It's gone. Did he say it? All of it? Did he say it? You couldn't hear it. Can't remember it. Can't. What's happening? The king is attacking Seafreen. Everyone protect him. Stop talking, king. Leave Freen alone. Seaf. The music here is infiltrating my brain. It is like so like deep and like it feels guttural almost. Your head, it feels like it's splitting in two. Your country, your home. You can't remember it. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Gone from your past, gone from your mind, gone from the very planet you stand on, and it was yours. It was yours. It was yours and it's gone. You can't even say its name. Oh my god. But if the king could, then maybe. Wait, what do we do here? What do we even do? Do we get the king to say it? Because if they say it, would that be a situation where like we're now... Where he does try to rebuild it? You know what I mean? Or if we say don't, is that a situation where it'll be... That's what I'm thinking, will be the same thing as we saw before. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like if we say don't say it, will it just like happen to where like the same choices that came before happen now again? Now, the thing is about this whole conversation, by the way, is this is like you can like we went from like thinking like I think we always like got the hint that the king was like a bit had a bit of desperation in them, you know what I mean? From their crying, their wailing, from begging us to remember, asking us to remember. They saw our clothing from the start and said, this is like, you know, the person that they want to like, to relate to, I guess, even. They saw our clothing, our accent even, they heard as well. This music is so crazy as well. My thought process is that if we say it, it'd probably advance something forward. Right? If we say don't, I feel like it's just gonna keep things the way they were. Does that make sense? Yeah. You have to say it. If you couldn't do it, maybe you can. Maybe you both can.
Bright one, please. Please.
You inhale, you try to grasp its name. So we're gonna try and do it this time. But the damage it does to us as well. Oh my god, we're both getting damaged trying to say this.
No.
Your throat, your head, it hurts. It's almost like a curse you can't say, right? You spit blood, you hack up, you have to get it out.
Bright one, I almost heard it.
No way, please again, once again, you have to try, please, together. Your entire body hurts. Your head is killing you. I think if we say don't, it's just gonna I really feel like it's just gonna make the battle go the same way it was before. But you have to try, you have to. We have to stop the king. Siegfried, whatever he's telling you to say, stop it, stop. Freen, Siegfried. But you have to. What do they know? Oh no, what do they understand anyway? This pain of not remembering your own blinding country. And this again, right, is Siegfried feeling alone. Feeling like this burden is upon them. And you know what's freaking crazy? And this is probably a crazy thing to say. Maybe it isn't. Call me out if it is a crazy thing to say. Really, the first person that Siegfried could relate to when it comes to this time loop stuff and this forgetting stuff and the pain of not knowing who they are, is the king. Like, it's crazy that way, right? Your own home. The king is right. You have to get it back. You have to get... Oh my god, maybe I made the wrong choice here. You inhale. Maybe I made the wrong choice here. I possibly made the wrong choice. Someone is screaming? You realize it's your own what? That is crazy that we got so outside our own thoughts. So outside our own thoughts that we heard ourselves scream. Your throat feels raw, your head feels like it's splitting in two, your stomach feels like it's a black hole. The scent of sugar is all around you. So thick you almost gag on it. You can't hold on to anything. What? But it's what? Wait. Oh my god. You cough until you can't move or even breathe anymore. Your throat hurts. You couldn't say it. What was the point anyway? What was the point of saying its name? What was the king thinking? It's gone. Your home is gone and it has been for a long time. There's nothing you can do to bring it back. Doesn't the king see that? Doesn't he see that you have to let it go? You start oh, they're laughing again. Will you ever take your own advice? You need to go and talk to the king. One last. Wait, we're going back again? I don't think we even need to talk to the other characters. I don't think this is going to be like a battle. I think we just need to talk to the king. Let's save first of all. So that type of loop, by the way, is advancing the plot forward. We did advance the plot forward, that type of loop. Should we talk to Luke before we do anything, though? I feel like we should, right? So what we just had there, by the way, you remember, before you became stuck in time, you passed through a little... before whatever this is, please let me talk about what just happened. Okay, hold on. Okay, so... the king and Siegfried I feel like, and maybe my interpretation is wrong, is this one moment where they both like related to each other in this weird, painful way. And I want to make it clear, what the king is doing is wrong. It's wrong what the king is doing. But just like any other story we play in this channel, we won't ever try and forgive anything bad that someone does, but we will often try and understand why they're doing the thing that they're doing. right, all the time. Because I feel like, an absence of understanding is, it takes out like 20% of the story's understanding. You know what I mean? If we choose to just like not understand, and you're saying, it's not, again, I think sometimes people think understanding is always about like compassion. It's not always about compassion. I think that understanding is also about like, just knowing something. And I think that like, if we go look at the king and we go like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it, right? Right? We can at the same time go, what you're doing is effing wrong. You're doing something very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. And at the same time go, well, why are you doing this thing very wrong? Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? And I feel like it leads to a better understanding of the story. I do think that there is like this very weird, unnatural, painful relation and understanding between, in that moment at least, between Siegfried and the king, both of them taking damage, both of them suffering, trying to remember the name of their homeworld. Siegfried even said, like, what do these people understand? It's like they know their place. We went through a bunch of conversations with these characters where they all talked about like, their past and their lives, where they came from, do they belong, do they haven't? But like even with and then from Siegfried's perspective, it's probably like, well, Odile, at least they have a place to go back to, even if they don't feel like they fully belong there. Like, I have nowhere. I can't remember my home. And for a split second, in that moment, it seems appealing, right? All this pain you've gone through, all this horrible stuff that you went through, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, right? Someone you could actually talk to, and not talk to like we're having a deep meaningful conversation, but someone who like feels this pain, who can use timecraft, who's from the same place as you, and you both like are desperately trying to remember where you're from. Why, again, it's not about an understanding of the king. It's about, or like in compassion for the king. It's literally about the fact that like in that moment, it felt like Siegfried was like, I found someone who I can truly relate to in one moment, right? In just one singular moment. And then afterwards, when it was over, I need to take my own advice. I should take my own advice and forget about all this stuff. What's the point in remembering? I need to talk to King one last time about this stuff as well. Because the thing is, we can look at like Siegfried from the perspective of someone who's not going through a bunch of like anguish and mental torment, right? But then like it would be very silly because like that type of looking at it from that lens is just not fair whatsoever, right? Because we can't truly look at it from Siegfried's lens fully because Siegfried is like in a situation that we'll never be in, right? 100%. But we also have to look at this and be like, and try to be like empathetic for Siegfried, and not even try. It's very easy to be empathetic for Siegfried because of what the stuff they're going through. Because I feel like, even you guys say the same stuff as well. Like, we know Siegfried is going through some horrible suffering. Siegfried, even though they're trying to stay strong for their family and their friends and trying to work hard and trying to save everyone, they have not died, but they have looped like 55 times now. They forget 8 of the times that they've looped. They have seen people die. They've heard the footsteps of body running away. They've looked in the eyes of Odile and Mirabelle and Isabeau as they've died. They have split their head open on a rock trying to just save people's lives. They have frozen themselves, something that is known to be like a very saddening thing. They have frozen themselves multiple times just to do this. It's not surprising to me that in that moment, Siegfried felt like they were like almost on the same wavelength of a character like the king, in my opinion. Let's check out what this is as well. Before you could become stuck in time, you passed through a little town for supplies. Everyone had things to do, but you were stupidly hungry and you could barely think, so you stopped at a boulangerie nearby. The boulanger was an old man but strong. Looked like he was woke up smiling every day. That's a great description, by the way. Even then, with the threat of the king looming over everyone, wordlessly you pointed towards a croissant, showing some coins. I've never been fans of croissants, to be honest. Silently, smiling, he got you a pastry, took your money, and gave you this 1 silver piece of money back. That's the coin. You both said thank you at the same time, and you both froze. Apart from Issa and Mira, who have the same accent, you all have very different ways of speaking the same language, yeah? Makes sense, as you all come from different places, 100%. Through your travels, you met a lot of people with Mira and Issa's Vulgardian accent, a few with Bonnie's coastal accent, and even fewer with Odile's Caboon accent, but your accents stayed unique and foreign. The Boulanger's accent was the same as yours. So were they someone else that came from the same place that Siegfried and the king came from? Without breaking eye contact, the old man grabbed your arm. His eyes were stunned, fearful, hopeful, and he said, "Young one, where are you from?" Oh my God. And this is what I'm talking about, right? In those singular moments, you relate to someone almost instantly, and you couldn't answer. There was no way you could answer. How could you answer? Did he know? Is that coming from the game? That sound? Could he answer the droning sound that sounds like it's something in our brains? Was he asking you? Taunting you? Could he remember the lights still? The shapes they cut in the darkness? The stories? Did he beat in his chest? Did he beat in his chest still? Were they still warming up his heart? Such an incredible way to describe like how your past, what your past can do to you. Could he speak them and everything into existence? Could he say it? Let the words out. Did he remember? Did he remember? Did he remember? Did he remember? You left the boulangerie running. So we were like distressed. You could see the night sky dotted with lights, but your chest was empty. When you ran back, you thought about how you'll always forget about the things you love. Oh my God. And now we know what the idea of like forgetting about loops and also the relation to forgetting about our hometown. It's an immutable fact, but you don't want to forget about your family members ever. Ever, 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 ever. No matter what, you'd make sure that you would always remember. You ate the croissant when you got back to everyone else. It didn't taste like anything. I'm not a big fan of croissants. I know it sounds so weird to say, but it's the truth. I'm not a big fan of croissants, but like if you eat a croissant, there's sweetness. There's like a buttery flakiness, right? I know flakiness isn't a type of like taste, but you know what I mean? It's a texture, but like there's like a butteriness. There's like a sweetness. There's almost like a kind of like a very like strong aftertaste as well, right? It is a strong, sweet thing to taste, right? But not being able to taste anything, this croissant that you got from the person that was from your same home and you don't taste anything? Jesus Christ, what is wrong with this game? To me, like a perfect way to describe... Oh, we're here again, yeah. A perfect way to describe a horrific... To me, the perfect way to describe a disconnect, maybe, from your past and a forgetfulness is to forget the taste of something. Seafreen described this boulangerie as someone, this dude, wondering if the feelings that they had from their hometown was still beating hard in their chest. And it's a very beautiful, poetic way of saying, like, do the memories still hold true in their heart? But to Seafreen, they forget about everything. They forget about absolutely everything. And to them, like, you can understand why that would have been a terrifying situation. Because not, like, to be reminded of something can sometimes be a painful fact, right? To remind you something of your past. But imagine reminding something that's painful about your past, but you don't remember your past. Imagine getting a reminder that you don't remember. And you see the desperation in this baker as well. He grabs Seafreen's arm. Instantly. Where are you from? Right? This is something that plagues everyone who's from that place's mind constantly. Right? Yeah, it's very dark. And again, to me, like, again, I could be wrong. To me, the idea of like not being able to taste what the croissant tastes like, something, again, I'm not a massive fan of croissants, right? It's not my favorite thing in the world, but embarrassing. You drop it down and your family. Oh, okay, great. You close your single eye. I'm not a massive fan of croissants. I've said this like already a million times, but no one can deny that the taste is that 62 loops. Wait a second. Did we forget more stuff in between that? Because we're on 54 loops, right? So we did like 3 more loops. I think we're forgetting more loops. I know I'm being bad here. I need to talk to Loop. I'm so sorry, Isabeau. I need to talk to Luke. This is crazy stuff. But yeah, I see the not being able to taste the croissant as not being able to like, not being able to truly, to be disconnected, right? And maybe I'm seeing that in a wrong way, but it feels like a disconnection. And it makes sense why they no longer want to taste the croissant, because it will always remind them of that day, right? And that's why they hate croissants. How can I be this wonderful new loop? Let's talk about something. Anything new to talk about? Are you jealous of my family members? What? What is this coming from? I know, you just act very weird every time I talk about them. Like what? Like I'm your partner waiting at home, and when I finally get to talk to you, all you do is, all you can talk about is the fun you're having with your other people? Forget I said that. That was a terrible, awful metaphor. Uh-huh. Shut your mouth! I'm really not jealous, okay? Not of your party, anyway. I had a question about... In the end... Oh, it's just the same questions as the last time. Do you want to fix the knife? Let's see if there's anything new here. We could try talk about the king again. What should I do now? The king is known from a country that no one can remember. Something happened to this country to make it disappear even in people's minds. And he wants to freeze forgotten time to make sure that in a twisted way it never be forgotten. What a blinding idiot. Using the word blinding, by the way, loop. I have to talk to him one last time. The king is trying to remember our country, trying to keep Vagard from meeting the same fate. He's deluded. He can't bring it back, but... Would you have to try? Just do whatever you want, Stardust. Have fun. About the king. So, Loop is kind of like saying, like, again, and I said this before, but like, I'm not a big truster of Loop. I'm not. Wait, so something here, I want to check something really quickly. I'm not a massive truster of Loop, right? I'm just really not. No, I don't think we need to ask anything here. I had a question about... Oh, yeah, no, that's why it's kind of... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You guys know I'm not a big truster of Loop. I never really was, right? I think Loop is an interesting character. I think they're like an incredible character. But I've never been a massive truster of them. And I think that like one of the things that's happening here for me with this conversation we're having with Loop right now, right? Is that Loop said like, hey, just do what you want. Do what you want. I think that like, even if they did know something else, it feels like sometimes, and maybe this is just me, but it feels like sometimes they're like, really like, I don't know. It feels like sometimes the way that they talk to us is that they want us to make some mistakes, right? And we might be making a mistake right now, actually not doing the other conversations, but like I feel like I have a feeling this isn't going to be like, now we might have to go to the boss again, but I have a feeling that this is going to be more story based than anything, right? Like it was just last time in this last part. But I feel like Luke wants us for some reason to make mistakes. But your neck still hurts? Oh wow, that's very dark. This is crazy as well that like after what just happened, we're going back and be like, I need to talk to the king, right? Like, it's very painful. To me, it's a very painful situation.
King, I've come to talk again.
Wait, you, traveler. Oh no, I think you say this all the time. Yeah, do you remember? Yeah, sorry, I'm so used to like skipping by this. Do you say the same thing as last time? Just an unbelievably like dark story to me. And like it's kind of like interesting that like this dark story is told through the lens of like an unbelievably gorgeous fairy tale style, you know what I mean? It really feels like it is like a fairy tale that is you know, a thin piece of like foil that is wrapped around a full story of pain and suffering for Siegfried. Let's stop fighting. The music just stops. Siegfried? What are you? You don't need to fight anymore, do you? You understand what the king wants, how he feels. If only you could make him understand. We don't have to fight. We're looking for the same thing. I know I understand why you're doing this. But this isn't the way to do it, I agree. We can protect this country another way. You don't have to freeze it forever. Do you really want it all to end? Let's stop fighting. Leave this country be. Look at the pain in Siegfried's face, so we don't need to keep holding on to it. Let's just let it go. We have to let it go, King. Everyone's shocked, like not even knowing what to say. Perhaps you're right, Bright One. By the way, their letters shaking like Siegfried's does as well. Huh? What?
Let us stop this battle. Let us talk to one another. As people from the same country.
What are people going to think about that? Oh my god, it's not even just like a death point here. It's literally just a conversation. The king has stopped fighting you. You lower your dagger. Siegfried, is this it? You're going to stop just like that? Boniface, you destroyed my home. That's the thing, from other people's perspectives, like you look at all the damage, and they have. 100% they've done damage. They've broken hearts. They've done horrible things.
Froze my sister. Froze all of her guard in time. And you'll just stop just like that?
I will. I have fought for long enough.
This music's so stunning in this game.
I'm starting to realize that even if I did win, my victory was short-lived.
Because you'd be frozen in time yourself, maybe? Stupid.
Perhaps, but
if someone from my own country's the one asking, then shouldn't I Oh my god. Remember we just talked about the idea of like in this one moment they can relate to each other, and the king clearly feels this way too. In this one moment in time.
After all, only a fellow compatriot would understand my pain.
You said you and Siegfried are from the same country?
We don't know where Friend is from, so
what happened? The king cries out.
Oh, but that's the problem, isn't it? That's what we'd like to know as well, isn't it? If I mention it, you might be able to remember for a brief second. The fate of the island north of Agard.
An island north of Agard? Is it perhaps the one we can't say the name of? The one no one can remember anything about?
The very one.
That's where you're both from? So then what happened?
The king sobs.
I suppose your story might be similar to mine, Bright One.
The music is so stunning. One day, I just woke up on a beach on the coast north of Agard. I woke up slowly, as people sometimes do, expecting to remember where I was, what I was supposed to be doing that day, but nothing came to mind. Can you imagine? That's... Wow. Can you imagine, like... Have you ever, like, tried to, like, remember a celebrity's name? I know it sounds like, believe me, I'm not trying to make light of this. I hope it doesn't sound like that. But you ever tried to remember a celebrity's name from a movie or something like that? And it's frustrating to not remember that one thing. Have you ever tried to do a math equation and you don't remember how to do it? It's frustrating, that one thing. Can you imagine trying to remember who you are, where you're from? Imagine that. You're multiplying that little frustration you have by 1,000,000. What am I doing here? Why was I here? I can't remember it. Like, that is painful.
I realized nothing came to mind. I also realized I could not remember a single thing. What was I doing here on this beach? What chores was I to do that day? How I got here, why I didn't recognize my surroundings. My past, my family, my name, the language I spoke, the alphabet I wrote with, the stars, the country's inhabitants, the culture, beliefs, its very name. I could not remember anything, because all my memories, everything I slightly was connected to the country I came from, just cannot be accessed easily anymore. And it makes sense, doesn't it? No one on this planet can remember our home as it was. Most people from outside it, who had limited ties to it, only forgot the country's existence Maybe you forgot a friend from there or a distant family member. But for someone who has ties to it, who was born there, lived in it, breathed in it, day and night, there would be nothing to remember. There would just be emptiness.
And that's true. It's the freaking, oh my god, it's the idea that like, if you're someone who just knew someone from that place, it's a slight frustration, right? It's as you said, like trying to remember someone's name. It's a bit of a painful thing. It makes you feel a bit queasy. It gives you a headache, gives you a migraine, right? But if you're someone who is from that place and all your memories are laid in that place, every one of your memories, your past, your feelings, your chores, as the king said, something as mundane as your chores. What did I do day to day? It's all in that place. You have nothing left.
I was cut off from my very existence, my entire past, my entire identity, erased. Memories make up the core of who we...
Yes, they do. Memories influence everything. They influence who you are, your future, the way you make decisions. Your past, it influences how you are in your future.
The proof we existed, that we are real. Can you be certain of anything you don't remember or how you learned it? And if you don't remember your past, if you only know it has been erased from your memory because something happened to your home, and if something happened when no one remembers what or why, then
what's stopping it from happening again? A lot of people feel that remembering something bad happened is one of the ways to prevent. So now, again, that used to be like very, very true, but like where we're seeing a lot of bad stuff is still happening, in the world still, even though we remember other things that are bad that are happening too. We've seen this happen. But I think what the king is getting at here is if we don't know what happened to the island north of Vagard, then how are we going to prevent it? We don't even know the steps to prevent it. Right?
What if you forget it all?
What if you lose it all once more? The king sobs. And you had to make sure it wouldn't happen again.
At any cost necessary.
And if the universe led you on this path, then it must be what the universe wants. And they're like finishing each other's thoughts.
The universe
leads.
We can only
follow.
Even if you don't agree with my methods, Bright One, I can tell you understand.
And that's what we're looking to do. Again, I don't, Bonnie's sister was frozen. The people that Mirabelle knew in this place were frozen. The horror, the pain, the terror, the stuff that we've gone through,
No matter what, I could not let this happen again. I could not. Not to Vagard. Not to Vagarians who housed me, cared for me, loved me.
Oh my god. And this is the thing. They were lost everything. They didn't have a memory of and again, it's even like a thing, by the way, how painful is this, right? You know that you can pick up a pen and write something. You know how to write letters. You know that you can well, maybe not letters, but you know that you can pick up a pen and write something. You know you can pick up a brush and paint something. You know when you pick up a knife and fork, you eat something. But you don't know who taught you how to do this. You don't know where you learned this stuff. And probably a better example would be you know how to ride a bicycle, but you don't remember who taught you how to ride that bicycle. So for the king to come to Vagard and have people that loved them and cared for them, and already, I truly believe we saw that with the guy in the bakery, the boulangerie, grabbing Siegfried's arms. How Siegfried acts, how the king acts. Every single person who was from the north of Vagard in that island, no matter what, I think it does not have the advantage that, and I'm saying advantage, of a true understanding of themselves. So they don't act. It's almost like on impulse sometimes what they're doing. You know what I mean? Before they realize. Now, again, I want to make it clear. We said it before, and I don't have to say it a million times because you guys know what I'm saying. We're not forgiving anything the king did here, right? 100%. We're looking for an understanding past this. But then people come in and save you, and they help you, and they house you. They cared for me. They loved me. All of a sudden, this place is the most perfect place in the world. Even though I don't know all this stuff, I'm terrified. I'm scared that I can't remember anything. And these people still cared for me and loved me in this moment.
I do not want to forget it all, not again. I will keep things I love close to me. I will make sure they can keep existing, so that they can be remembered forever.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
That's what I thought this whole time. This whole time. But I can see that I was mistaken. You're right, Bright One.
This is insane. We can find another way to protect the people we love. This is insane. So please, while I still can. And can I say the parallels between the stories here, right? Between the king and Siegfried. Siegfried also was lost. Was without memories, without life, without anything. Right? And we thought at first it was just a thing where they were like going through life like kind of like nonchalantly like people do, and they just found people that they can talk to. They found a family here that cared for them, that would die for them, that would do anything for them. They found that amongst the sea of nothingness that they called their mind. It's insane here that there is so many parallels between, and again, not between their actions, but between the journey. It's just that they went off in two different directions. You know what I mean? They both used timecraft. They both lost their homes. They both can't remember. They both found people that they love, but they all did it. They did it in different ways. And here they both have the intention of saving the people that they love, but they both went out about in different ways. Let me change my mind, by the way. Let me help you. Change. Mirabelle. Madame, if he truly means it, shouldn't we try, or are we deciding he cannot change? I can't believe that. I want to believe that even the worst person can change. Odile. We have to try. I'm with Mira and Sif. Fine.
Okay, I'll follow you, Freem, but I don't know why. I'll trust you all. I can't do anything anyway.
You breathe out. If you can end this loop without fighting, if you and the king come to an understanding, then Bright One, Siegfried, would you stand next to me? I can bring everyone back, make sure they all move again. We can save this country together. But I cannot break this curse on my own. Creating the curse was easy, but unraveling it asked for more power than that, so we have to work together with our powers. But to help with someone else, someone who truly wishes for the curse to be lifted, is that how it works? It does if someone wants it enough. Siegfried, should I do it? I think we have to. If all that's needed for the curse is to break is your help, you're the only one who can make the king change his mind. The least you can do is help. You start to walk over to the king. Oh no. I have a nervous feeling. Oh no. Oh, I'm very, 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 very disappointed. Oh no. I still believe that the king, in the reasoning of why the king is doing this, but I now believe that they believe that our reasoning of that you have that is not the way. They still believe in the reasoning that they have to freeze everyone in time. I still believe in all the parallels. I still believe in all the you know, I believe in what they said about the people of Agard, that they loved them and all this stuff, but they truly don't see a path other than freezing people in time. Holy hell. Huh? Wait, this is the moment where this is a death moment. The king froze your bodies in time. You can't think and move your head still, so it's not over, but you can't move. Oh my god. So, and that's the word for it. I'm not disappointed in the story, by the way. I'm just disappointed in the king. King, I can't move. Why can't I move? Bright One, Siegfried, is this really all I needed to do to make you trust me? I just need to listen to your empty words to tell you how sad I am, to make you think I was pathetic, to be pitied. You should have told me sooner. Killing you like this is easier than fighting. I feel sick. I feel really sick and sad. Everyone, what was it you wanted me to do? Let go of my goal? Let go of my wish? That's the thing, that's what I'm saying. They still believe that the way to go about this is to freeze everyone. And they made us believe that they were like, oh yeah, let's talk this out. Let's do this. That's what they made us do. They made me believe that there was going to be some change here in the loop. And I think that's what makes this game very powerful, but also at the same time, I'm just so disappointed and I feel sick. I really do. It's rare that I feel this in the pit of my stomach. I feel like I want to cry, but I can't. And at the same time, I just like... I feel so disappointed. Isn't that such a horrible way to feel about this as well? I just feel so disappointed in the king. And they said, well, I'm not to be pitied, by the way. They said I'm not to be pitied. So what they're saying is, I don't need your pity. I'm doing this. I'm making this beautiful place stay in the same way it was before. I'm going to recreate my home. We can recreate the... I 100%. And again, like I said, I still believe in the parallels of like how the king and Siegfried like relate in that way. But I think here in this moment, I think what we learned is that Siegfried may be like related too much to the king in this moment, whereas the king felt like they didn't relate to Siegfried in that way at all. So we maybe were wrong about that aspect as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could be wrong, but I feel like the journey is still there of how they love the people in how they love Vagard. I mean, maybe we're gonna be wrong about that, but they still believe in their mission. I will never let go of Vagard, our country. I'll make sure they kept, 100%. They still believe in this idea. So it's not like, yeah, like I said, the parallels don't die. But one thing that does die is that belief that there could be a conversation here about this, because I can tell Siegfried, this isn't how it should be. I saw it all, you know. I saw the signs, the way you came in to face me. I saw, you know, exactly what you were. We didn't flinch. The way you knew about my home, the way you can keep it out there for forefront of your mind, like you practice as I have. Yes. Oh, I can tell. I can tell, Siegfried. I should have won. I should have won long ago, but something went wrong, didn't it? Wait, so they're feeling the loop as well? It's you, isn't it? The one who yeah, oh my god, they're feeling the loop as well. How many times have you kept me from victory? So every time they quote-unquote win, they feel that escaping them. You can't breathe. What is he talking about? What? I can tell. I can feel it. This scent. This overpowering sweet scent. I can taste the power of the wishcraft on you. The wishcraft. Wishcraft. I can tell, Siegfried. It's you. You're the one keeping me from total victory. You're the one keeping me from my perfect ending. If only you weren't here. Whoa. The hair is like flowing. A quick What? What do they mean? You just come back anyway, won't you? Wait, so... Oh, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you... Stop! No! Oh! The king grabbed onto Bonnie. Bonnie! No. Curse you, king. Let him go. No! No! Bright one, Siegfried, look at me. Oh my freaking... You need to learn to not cross me again. I will... Stop this! And your houseman, and your fighter, and your researcher. I will kill them all one after the other. I will kill them... I will force you to... Jesus freaking Christ, what the hell's wrong with you? So you will learn. No, do not... I'm actually begging the game to not do this. The king is tiny. Stop this! Stop! Stupid body move. No, Bon. None of you can move. Your whole body hurts. You can't move. You have to do something to save Bonnie. You need to find a way to loop back somehow. You need to die, a tear, anything. Just loop back. Oh no, help me. Oh, no, just stop. I'm begging the game to stop. Just let them go, please. I feel so sick right now. Not Bonnie, please. Your stomach feels like it's caving in on itself. Curse you, king. Curse you and your whole country. Curse you and everything you stand for. You taste sugar on your tongue. Bonnie. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. You have to loop back. Loop back. Stop. No, what the hell? When you come back, Bright One, remember... Loop back. Oh... Jesus fucking Christ. Holy hell. What am I even supposed to do? How does this game think it wants me to feel right now? I feel sick. I feel literally like I could barely pick up the controller. That's how I feel. That was one of the most horrific moments I've ever had in a video game ever, and I'm sorry that I'm so like not I sometimes you don't even realize you're not like speaking as much, right? And I'm looking at I'm sorry, but like I am sweating, I feel sick. I have never felt this way before playing a video game. That is horrific, that is horrible, that is disgusting. That is one of the most brutal things I've ever seen any piece of media do ever for me. That is insane. And I hope you understand when I say this. I'm not in the mood for any more conversations. I don't want to talk to this king anymore. I do not. I need to find a way to just get rid of this guy and end that forever. If you are willing to torture someone like this, to brutally kill a young person like that, you have lost the ability for, in my opinion, for true compassion. It's gone. I am sweating right now. I feel like I'm literally about to get sick. And again, I feel like I need to cry, but I can't. Like, I don't know. This is so effed. You clench your chest and you try to catch your breath and forget. It's fine. You loop back. It's not. But that's the thing. The implications are that we loop back, but like we don't know if that stuff still could have happened in that time. It's fine. It's fine. We're trying to tell ourselves it's fine. They're fine. Bonnie is fine. Looping resets everything. Everything just happened, has been erased. That's what we're trying to tell ourselves. Everything is back to normal. Bonnie is back to normal. Just go and see them. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. You're fine. A whimper escapes you. No, you're okay. Bonnie is okay. Everyone is okay. They have to be okay. Just breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Bonnie. Bonnie is... There's an absence there. A pause. Okay. You're okay. Trying to reassure. Seafriend is trying to reassure themselves now. See, because the way loops work, they won't remember anything. They're not hurt. Everything is back in this loop. And again, it's Seafriend trying to reassure themselves. There's no reason the loops would work differently this time. We don't know how the loops fully work. Just breathe, stand up and make sure. Get back to the stage, follow the script. And again, you know what's happening there as they lie down? They're wondering to themselves, is Bonnie okay? You know what I mean? They're trying to reassure themselves because they just saw one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen in this game. Oh, it's Act 4. It's Act 4. We just saw one of the most horrific things ever in a video game, and now they're trying to reassure themselves. Like everything's okay, but like again, it's in the back of their mind they're thinking, what if the loop didn't work and I go back and Bonnie's not okay? That's what they're thinking to themselves now. There's 1,000,001 like feelings like rushing throughout this episode. I feel like I started off obviously like not knowing what to do, but like let's just talk about like when we got to like the stuff with the king. Like let's just I feel so sick. I feel so sick. I'm gonna need to get like a cup of tea after this soon because I have like other videos to do. I have like 4 more videos today that we're doing. I have been told that I'm a generational yapper, and I'm finding it hard to speak right now. I'm finding it very difficult to even think about this. So I won't talk for too long. We found a relation to the king, and there was a moment where I really thought that something was going to change there. The game massively brought me along thinking that something was going to change. I still believe in the parallels between the king and Seafriend and the journey that they were on and them wanting to protect people. But the actions clearly are so different now at this point that there's nothing to me that it's such a separation for me now, you know? Like what I'm saying is I believe like everything I said about the parallels and the relation, I do believe in some way, maybe not fully the relation anymore. I think Seafriend related to the king for a moment. But I think there is a manipulation going on there with the king manipulating Seafriend into believing that there was a full-on thing here between the two of them where it's like I relate to this. And I think it was a very horrible manipulation. They're both from the same place. And what Seafriend was trying to say was we can save everyone in a different way. The king instead was saying, this is my hopes. You can't trample on this. And they even said it was like, I'm not pitiful. I don't feel pitiful. This isn't that type of story. I'm going to do this because this is my goal. You think I'm going to give him my goal just because someone I know talked to me? Because someone from my home world talked to me? The king is aware that there's something happening, that they can feel that there's some type of loop happening as well, that something's happening with the time crafter where they can't win. It's almost like, the old thing where people say, like, you don't want like a boss, you try a boss 100 times and the boss is probably thinking, Jesus, I have to do this again. You know what I mean? I win every time, but I have to do this again. That's what it feels like in that way. I'm really not feeling good about this. My mind is just lost. I feel really sick. The king in the end there killed Bonnie in front of us so that we would always remember that moment, and that is cruel. It is evil. So that we would never forget that one singular moment. And so we remember that if we look back again, that we remember that. It's just an unbelievably cruel thing to do. They are set in their ways and set in the thing that they want to do, whilst we were trying to maybe make some type of relation to them or relate to them. They don't want to be related to. They don't want to be understood. They have their goal and they've set their goal, and that's it. That's what they do. And forgive me, but I don't think I'm even gonna have to ask for forgiveness, and I don't think I'd need to. They need to go. They need to go. There's no, let's stop this. And like, it's what they did there was just one of the most evil things I've ever seen any character do in a video game ever. And I think this game is very masterfully done in that way, where they built up this idea of like for this whole act of like, we're from the same place, we can relate to them. And there are parallels there just to basically dash any hope you had of that. Intentionally so. They built up to this entire game the idea of this time loop of us saving people. And now we have the doubts in our mind of like, are we even saving people? Do they still remain in that point as well? So that now, and that's how cruel this game is. So now when Bonnie gets crushed right in front of us, we have to deal with the fact that like in that timeline, in that loop, there's a chance that Bonnie still was getting crushed. Forgive me for not being as, and yeah, there's lots of stuff there when it comes to like the idea of like, we know more people, the person in the laundry, there's people, we have forgotten the place that we are from, and it's painful to remember it. And now what the king is trying to do is they love this place so much that they're trying to keep it in the same sense, and they believe that in their own way that they're so correct into what they're doing that they're willing to do that thing they did there. But now this is before we go, and I'm going to go because I really like, I'm just being honest, like this is like one of the most messed up things I've ever seen in a game. Sorry about that. Yeah, but like just to close out on this as well, I'm so sorry I'm not as talkative and as expressive with this, guys. Like I think I said what needs to be said here on this through this whole episode. But what I would say is that like I think this is going to have like an unbelievably damaging effect on Seafreen's mind, like it already has. You saw the way they were trying to block this out and trying to like make sure they don't even remember it. They're trying to reassure themselves almost so quickly that like, okay, Bonnie's okay. Even in the back of their mind, they're thinking, did this loop even work? One of the most horrible things that you could ever like really go through. If the stuff before damaged Seafreen and hurt Seafreen and was hurting Seafreen, I feel like this is like I have no idea how they're going to relate to this. It's horrific, and it's just horrific. It really is. I'm sorry for harping on for too long, but I'm gonna basically end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting this series. This was a brutal ending, but we're in Act 4 now.